It has been widely reported that cargo theft in Canada is a $5 billion per year problem. It's an issue that hurts carriers, shippers, and contributes to rising insurance costs. Yet, for the longest time, the subject was taboo within our industry. Recently, however, there has been evidence of greater collaboration between carriers and law enforcement in addressing this problem. To find out how leading fleets are addressing cargo theft in their own operations, Truck News editor James Menzies visited with Norm Snade, VP of Business Development with Bison Transport. In part one of this two-part video series, Norm talks about yard security, how to properly park trailers, and why awareness is so important.
So Norm, cargo theft has been an issue forever, but it seems we hear more about it today than in past years. Is this because it's become more prevalent, or is it more a matter of the industry finally taking some action?
I think it's a combination of both. I mean, there's a lot of cargo theft going on today, and there's a renewed focus on dealing with it. I know that industry is working a lot closer now with law enforcement than they ever did. I think that's important. As a carrier, our focus is on prevention. We do what we can to ensure that the cargo is protected at any given time and we're not at risk. However, when something goes amok, then we depend on law enforcement to work closely with us and try and get that cargo back. If you don't report it, you're never going to have a chance of getting it back.
One of the keys to preventing cargo theft, I assume, is keeping the bad guys out. So what do you do at your facilities to make sure that they're not able to wander in and take off with one of your loaded trailers?
Well, we're very protective of our facilities. Our yards are monitored closely. They're fenced, there's cameras, and we've got in many of them guards in a security hut, and we have, in some cases, mobile units. We only want people that are authorized to be on the property. If you're not authorized to be on the property, then you're not going to get in. And that goes for our own fleet. I mean, our drivers are equipped with swipe cards. If a driver shows up and he doesn't have his ID or his swipe card, he's not getting into the facility. He's being turned back to dispatch, and we'll deal with that matter at the dispatch level. But if you're a third-party carrier coming in to pick up a trailer, the guard hut is notified in advance so that they know you're coming. If you show up unannounced, you're not getting into the yard. If you're a visitor, you have to have a reason for being there. A car will not be allowed on the property unless earlier notification, and it's got to be authorized by the right person at Bison. So getting on the property is very difficult, and we want prior authorization for you to be there.
Norm spoke about the importance of keeping the wrong people out of the yard. The first step towards that, as another leading fleet, Rosenau Transport, will tell you, is hiring the right people in the first place. We have very stringent hiring practices, Saskatoon Terminal Manager Tim Rosenau stressed to us in a recent interview. There are also innovative tools and strategies to be used to further protect cargo.
If it's a loaded trailer, it goes to a designated spot. It's backed right up against a block wall. We want to make sure that the doors can't be opened, but equally as important is we cannot have that seal tampered with or breached in any way. So backing the unit right up against a solid object like a block wall that we use in our yards is the way to go, in our opinion. The loaded trailers are dropped close to the guard hut, and they're in view as a result of the security cameras that we have around the facility. If we have shunters that are in the yard on a regular basis, and if they see a trailer that hasn't been dropped properly, then they will hook onto it and push it back. We have a mobile unit in a couple of our yards as well that patrol the yard to make sure that there isn't anything going on that shouldn't be going on. If they see a unit pull in the middle of the night to drop a load, they make sure that it's dropped in the right place. So we really focus on that. We also focus on people that are on site. If there's just somebody in between trailers and there's no tractor around, or the tractor isn't in front of the trailer that they seem to be hovering around, then security is alerted.
Taking such steps will help fleets protect their customers and stabilize insurance costs. In part 2 of this series, we'll talk to Bison Transport's Norm Sneyd and others about the hiring process, how drivers can protect themselves while on the road, and about neighborhood watch programs.